Hey, what is up, my YouTubian subscribers? Secure here to do my review on RWBY Volume 5, Chapter 9, A Perfect Storm. Now, if you don't know, I do spoil the chapter, so come back on either Tuesday when it drops on Rooster Teeth's website or next Saturday when it drops on YouTube. Also, if you're watching on Amino, can you come to YouTube and drop a like on the video? Much appreciated. On with the show. Basically, this chapter opens up with Salem, or not Salem, Cinder and crew going to meet Raven. Now, Vernell enters Raven's tent, who is sharpening her sword, and says, Salem's found us. And Raven's like, well, we knew this would happen eventually. So she goes out to meet. She goes out full mask. She's like, give me my helmet. So she gets her helmet, and I love that. Still, we need some kind of explanation eventually for that helmet because it looks like a fucking grim mask that the White Fang used. That being said, she puts on her helmet and goes out to meet Cinder. Now, this meeting, what happens is Cinder reveals that she's the Fall Maiden to Raven. And that's first off big mistake there because now Raven has something to work with here. But that's beside the point. Raven then taunts. I love this part. This is Raven's best moment in this. It's just something subtle, but I love it. Basically what happens is Raven looks at Cinder's group and she's like, what do we got here? A disgraced Atlesian scientist? A couple of kids that you've tricked into working for you, and a false fall maiden so named because you chose that name. Like, it confirms that Cinder Fall wasn't her real name, while the Fall part of Cinder Fall wasn't her name. And then the group, Salem's group, is just quiet. And then Watt kind of coughs and he's like, other than the fact that I was also a doctor for the Atlesian military, that was pretty accurate. And I just laughed. I was like, oh my god. I love that. I love that even in a situation where she might die, she still had she had the lady nuts to freaking taunt Cinder and company. And it was something subtle, but I really, really enjoyed it. I know not very many reviewers are gonna pick up on that, but I did like it. And like I said, I kind of do like that they confirmed that Cinder Fall just didn't happen to be her name and she happened to go after the Fall Maiden. No, she chose Fall. That means she probably would have chosen something different if she had went after the Winter Maiden, maybe Cinder Winter or Cinder Frost or something like that. Maybe if she went after Summer Heat or whatever, she would have chose a different name to go along with the Maiden's power she took. We then get pretty much the meat of this chapter, which is an exchange between Raven and Cinder's company. And basically what happens is Cinder reveals basically that it's over. That they need Vernell. They only need Vernell for the knowledge of, or for the relic of knowledge. Raven counters with how the hell we can't just walk into Haven Academy. And then Cinder makes a second big mistake, which is to reveal that Leo is working for Salem now, and that Raven wasn't the only one to betray Osmond. And I'm just like, oh my god. You're gonna trust a former operative of Osmond, one of his eyes, essentially? And I'm like, oh my god. You're giving her too much information to work with. Raven is not stupid. And they're giving her a lot of information to work with. And I'm just, it's stupid, and it's dumb on Cinder's part, but it's bred by her arrogance. Essentially, we've seen that Cinder's arrogance is what cost her so many times. It nearly cost her during the Pyrrha fight. She nearly got her neck cut by Pyrrha just because she underestimated Pyrrha for a moment. She was caught off guard completely by RWBY's silver-eyed powers. It's just, yeah. Continuously, it's arrogance that costs Cinder her place. So she thinks just because she has the Maiden's power, Raven isn't ever gonna go against her. And to me, it's a bad mistake on Cinder's part. And yeah, what happens next is kind of the most chilling moment in the chapter. Essentially, what happens is Raven agrees to work with Salem and company only for the knowledge relic. But she has one other stipulation: the death of Crow Bronwyn. And everyone on even Salem's group is shocked by that statement. They're like, "What? You want to kill your own brother?" And she's like, "Yeah. If I get you the knowledge, or I can give it to you. You leave me, my tribe, and Vernell alone." Salem agrees to that, but then it's like, Crow's gonna always chase me. Crow is gonna chase me because eventually Osmond is gonna want the Spring Maiden's power. So we kill Crow, and then Arthur Watts is like, "No, not gonna happen. Even with all of us, Crow ain't gonna go down without a fight. Mercury and Emerald are probably gonna die in that confrontation. Watts might get injured. Raven might get injured. It's not gonna go. He's never gonna go down. Just even if it's 1,000,000 to 1, Crow is gonna fight back." And then Emerald pipes in. She's like, they also have the students, the kids. Ruby's there, and then that's when Cinder makes the choice. She's like, "Okay, we'll kill Crow Bronwyn for you." And Arthur's like, "Not gonna happen." And it's awesome. I like this exchange. There's infighting in the group. In Salem's faction, there's infighting essentially. What happens is Arthur basically says, "Not gonna happen. I know why you're doing this. Don't let a fucking grudge with a little girl get in the way of Salem's master plan." And I'm just like, oh, I get it. Once again, I understand that it's Cinder's arrogance that's costing her so much. She's gonna die probably because of her arrogance. I can see Jean killing her, just not because he's strong, not because he's fast, not because he's durable, but because she underestimates the Jean arc knightness. That being said, oh my god. So then we cut away to Blake and Company, where Gira is fighting for his life. Now, essentially, he's winning the fight. He's able to pin Corsican. He's able to pin either Corsic or Finnick. I forget which one. He's able to pin one to the wall with a spear that he steals from a White Fang member. And then what happens is the other brother is revealed. His Sai. Basically, what happens is Corsic and Finnick's twin Sais aren't twin Sais. One shoots fire dust, the other uses wind dust. And what happens is Gear gets caught in a tornado of wind dust, and he's getting blown back, and it looks like and his aura is completely gone at this point, and it looks like he's gonna lose this fight. Basically, another White Fang member with a shotgun is around the corner, and not gonna happen. Sun's on the scene. Sun attacks. Blake drops down from the ceiling. The brothers attack her. She uses ice dust to freeze them in place, and then an exchange happens. Basically, what happens is Blake and Sun and Gira argue with one another. Gira's like, "You gotta go," and Sun's like, "I'll stay and help your dad. Just go help your mom." And Blake's like, "No, if we take him out, if we work together, the three of us can wipe them out real quick." And Gira replies with, "Look, you've talked nothing but positive things about Sun. You say that he's a strong dude, so let him prove that to me." And I'm like, Gira and Sun, man, working together, I love it. I know the Black Sun shippers are gonna love it too, because it looks like Gira is trying to give Sun his what's the word I'm looking for? It looks like he's trying to give Sun his acceptance for Blake. That being said, he's like, "I won't let you down, sir," and Gear's like, "Shut up and fight." And then we cut away back to Vernell and Raven. Basically, Raven's sitting in her tent, looking at her helmet, and Vernell enters, and she's like, "I followed them. They have a ship about 2 kilometers west of here, and it looks like that's where they'll be staying." And then she asked the question that pretty much everyone who's watching this is asking to themselves: "Do you really think Salem's gonna let us go?" And Raven's like, "Nah, not gonna happen. Once we're useless to her, she's gonna dispose of us." and then she reveals her plan to Vernell, which is get the knowledge relic and book it. And I'm like, bro. So now basically what's happened here is Raven's the most informed member of every group that we know of. Raven is easily the most informed member, barring maybe Sun and Blake's involvement with the White Fang. Raven has Leo Lionheart. He knows that she knows the knowledge relic. She knows when the attack's gonna happen. Which, by the way, the 1 month time skip is gonna come into play in a couple of chapters here, because if you don't know, earlier on in the volume, basically what happens is it's revealed that Sun and Blake's story is happening a month earlier than Blake and or the rest of Team Ruby's story. So Sun and Blake are still a month behind everyone else. Whereas, yeah. So what's happening is Haven's gonna fall in 2 days, which means that essentially what's happening. They need to get moving, is what I'm getting at. They need to get moving because they still have a small ocean to cross before getting to Haven Academy. So Sun and Blake need to move. Anyways, I'm sorry, I got off topic. Vernell reveals, yeah, that she followed them to their ship. And yeah, when Salem's not gonna let them get away with it. She's gonna kill Raven and Vernell essentially. And I'm surprised. I thought for sure that they were gonna try to get the power of the Spring Maiden and give it to Emerald. That being said, I don't know if I don't know if Salem would let that happen. That means that that would be a power play on Cinder's part, because Emerald is so loyal not to Salem but to Cinder. That being said, yeah, so she reveals they're gonna grab the knowledge relic and just book it, and that's the only way. If they have that power, they're gonna be safe, or at least safer. Salem won't have it as easy to just come in with a fucking fall maiden and kill them before they can react. We then cut back to Blake, and basically Blake's running through her mansion. I love that. She's so hypocritical, but whatever. I know the Blake fans are gonna defend her no matter what. That being said, we cut back to Blake. Blake is running through her mansion, and then we see Ilya. Ilya and Blake. It's the setting up Blake's final fight for this chapter. For this arc, I would imagine this storyline or this volume. Her final fight is gonna be with Ilya. Ilya's squatting over watching what looks to be an entrance hall, and Blake shows up. Ilya goes for her weapon. Blake goes for her weapon. Ilya stands up, and Blake is ready to fight. And then the chapter ends. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh, I just want to see Blake and Ilya fight already. That being said, thoughts on this chapter? It was a strong chapter. Like I said, some of the mistakes Cinder made are understandable, in that she is very, very arrogant. That being said, to give a former spy for Ozpin all the information she needs to operate independent and let her operate independently was kind of questionable, in my opinion. I think that was a bad decision on Cinder's part not to force Raven and Vernell to accompany her to their camp, or to not leave at least Watts with them, or to not stay in the fucking camp with. Because right now all she needs to do is cut the air, go tell Crow that Leo's working with Salem, and this whole plan collapses. Which honestly, I think that would be the best decision on Raven's part. Go tell Crow that Leo's working with him. They then try to set up for the fall of Haven. Yeah, the fall of Haven can still happen, but it will happen as a trap for Salem's company, rather than what happened with Beacon, which was completely unexpected for Ozpin and company. That being said, it's a good chapter. Like I said, I like that Sun is playing a large part in this whole story arc. I didn't like Volume 4 for Blake. I thought Blake's storyline was the weakest in Volume 4, followed by Yang, then Weiss, followed by Yang, then Ruby and Juniper, then Weiss. I thought Weiss's story was the strongest out of the group, because it didn't try to subvert expectations. Like when you walk into Volume 4 and you're expecting you're expecting fucking Menagerie to be kind of sketchy, questionable, but it's a gorgeous, like, you expect it to be some desert barely functioning as a society, but when you walk in there, they have a chieftain. No, don't. It's just, yeah. Blake's story was weak in Volume 4, much stronger in Volume 5. Once again, if you've enjoyed this review, go like it on YouTube, like it on Amino. If you're watching on Amino, like it, comment down below. I'm also looking to start getting into theories, so if you have any theories you want me to talk about, comment down below. I read all the comments. Scared signing off.